inside of here, basically, when you're going here to make a sale, you don't change any workflow. So, like, for example, here we've got our bike helmet, for example, right? So I'm going to just say credit. We got to have a Discover card here, so we just click on Discover, and that's what initiates my integration. And then at that point, then just swipe the card, you get the confirmation, and you're done. So then so just click on Save and Print. You can see that we use the Intuit Receipt Writer, so you don't have to change anything at all. So it's all right here for them. And then at that point, then, in addition to that, what they can also do is they can run their gift card transactions from here. So if we say, for example, bike helmet, then at that point, then we're going to use a gift, and we're going to run the redemption of a gift card. So we're going to redeem that for $69.88. It's going to wait for that gift card, and at that point, then we just swipe the card essentially, and it's fully integrated. The cool thing about it too is that it's going to go ahead and show the merchant exactly what they have remaining on the card. So not only do we show the merchant here what the actual amount was, but now we also show them the gift redemption, $69.88. Now they have a gift card balance of $396.57 as well. A couple things that we've done to add to QuickBooks Point of Sale, like a lot of point of sale users wanted to be able to void a transaction and not have to go on the online site to do it, what have you. So we added an option here so that they can void that transaction right from here. So they can simply go in, void the transaction. That's one thing that they can do. They can also do a gift card balance if they wanted to as well. So if they want to go ahead and check on the gift card balance, they can. They can also come in here and do what's called exchange a gift card. This is a brand new thing that we just brought into QuickBooks Point of Sale. So if I go in here, for example, and say, okay, I want to actually go ahead and let me do this better way for us. So we're going to say we're going to buy a bike helmet, right, for $65. Okay, and then this person says, hey, I've got an Abercrombie and Fitch gift card. Will you accept that? So they basically can come in here and say, okay, I bought $209 worth of products. I'm going to use the gift card exchange for Abercrombie. And at that point, it's just like a form of currency, essentially. So now they can come in here and, okay, they say the redeem amount is $200, click on Save, and the gift card is now redeemed. And then at that point, then they tender the change for, $9.63. That person needs to go ahead and they're going to give us the exact amount, click on Save. So now they get the $9.53 in cash, redeem the gift card for $200, and there you go. A couple of things that we did, we really focused on streamlining process. So like inside of QuickBooks Point of Sale, if you go in here, for example, you look at open orders, you literally have to go through 6 different screens just to go ahead and put a deposit on an order. So if I want to make a deposit, now I'm on screen number 3. I'm going to go in here, take a deposit for the order. Now I'm on number 4. Go in here, tab down. Now I'm on 5, and here's number 6. Literally 6 a screen process. So we heard from our users, and they were really frustrated with that workflow. So what we did is we created something here called customer orders. And it works with layaway, sales orders, anything that's basically a customer order of any sort. You click on customer order, you do a search for any of them. You can do it by last name, you can do it by first name, you can do it by deposit amount, you can do it by order number, you can do it by any of these fields, okay? You go ahead, you pick the one you want, we'll say for $100, and then this was such a popular feature, our customers asked us, can you not just do it for credit, can you do it for gift, cash, check, account, etc.? We said, sure, no problem. So then you just click on here, it takes the amount that you're going to have, so we'll say our Discover card. You get the approval and you're done. So now I've taken 6 screens and placed it 2. Now our QuickBooks integration is identical to this, where it's just native. You're not disrupting workflow. So that's a key benefit as well. So you can do your make deposits feature just inside of QuickBooks the exact same way that you did beforehand. But what we also did was we incorporated a third piece of technology. This is our virtual terminal. So some customers, they'll say, hey, listen, I don't care about my guys accessing QuickBooks. I don't want them to access QuickBooks. I just want this guy to be able to run credit cards and also refunds, etc. as well. So this is literally just an app that sits on the actual desktop here, and it actually allows for a merchant to go and basically, instead of using authorize.net, so like your normal workflow, right, would be I got to open up a web browser, and in that web browser, I got to go ahead and go to authorize.net. So we're going to use them as an example. Now I'm going to my second screen, which is going to be my merchant login. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this as my sample. So now screen number 3, now I'm going to screen number 4, and now I'm here. I got to fill out all this information. Just make this Moto enabled. So if I say I don't have a terminal, we don't do any card present transactions, that's fine. So we're going to go back in, and what we'll do here is say we got $100 as a sale, click on process, and now I can enter the details manually. this was the one piece of technology they wanted more than anything, because they were saying that they had thousands of people using virtual terminals, and this was making it a lot easier for them to go ahead and process transactions. Maybe you're seeing here very quick, right? So you can do gift or prepaid cards right from here as well. You can also go ahead and do returns. With returns, it's going to require a PIN for security. So it's going to give us a pop-up for PIN so that you don't have people just pull money out of somebody's account. And then at that point, then you can run the same thing. So you just go ahead and you can type it in accordingly and run your return. Now the cool thing about this also works with the receipt printers. So if you want to print out a receipt, you have somebody that is card present, then you can do it that way. If you want to just send them one through Adobe, like if you have a PDF writer, you can do that as well. But it does support a whole stack of printers. So you can print out 2 copies right here, and it takes from basically your default.
Let me ask you a question. Can you talk a little bit about, once you do that credit card transaction in POS, what happens in QuickBooks Financial, and if you kind of walk through that workflow?
Yeah, there's nothing that changes from the reporting perspective, which is really vital, okay? So we have here basically all the credit cards that we have. These are all being essentially viewed as payment, just as if you'd enter these inside of QuickBooks POS. So when you go to reconcile the accounts, either through summary or through detail from QuickBooks Point of Sale to QuickBooks Financial, the transfer data is exactly identical. There's no difference. There's probably a couple things that are really key to note. A lot of our merchants that use QuickBooks Point of Sale also use QuickBooks Financial, and they also want to process credit cards in both. The key advantage for us is the fact that one merchant ID works with both. So you can use QuickBooks Financial, and you can also use QuickBooks Point of Sale on the exact same merchant ID. So you're not paying 2 statement charges, 2 technology fees, etc. You're only paying one of those, but then you just have a different terminal ID. When you go in to make deposits of QuickBooks, it will automatically take out your fees adjustments, and it will also give you your settlement date for the date of deposit, that the actual deposit coming into the bank account, just like what Intuit has right now, no different. For us, we want to be able to provide auto-reconcile. It's a huge value, because my merchants want to know what they're going to be charged at the end of the month, and if there's no surprise, if all of a sudden, they're looking at a liability account for merchant account fees, and they say, "Oh, I'm going to have to pay $600." Okay, well, no shock. I know it. But at the same point, my design is to always make it just more simplistic than what they had beforehand, and make it more efficient in general.